Hello and welcome back to English with Lucy. I'm serious here. If you can get 12 or more out of 15, your English is amazing. This quiz is going to be a great way for you to figure out which areas you might want to work on. So don't worry if you find it challenging. It's meant to be challenging. Here's the thing though, if you really want to get a more complete picture of your English abilities, I've developed a really in-depth online English level test, and I've made it free for you. It's perfect for helping you understand a bit more about your current level so that you can then find the perfect study materials that match where you are right now. The test runs all the way from A1 down to the top level, C2, and your results will be delivered to you via email. If you would like to take my free online English level test, just click on the link in the description box or scan the QR code there. Okay, let's begin the test. We're going to start with some lower level questions and then move towards higher level questions. But that doesn't mean that the first ones are easy. They contain structures that can trip up even advanced students, so don't skip ahead. And remember to keep track of your score. I'll invite you to share your results in the comments. Okay, number 1. Use the correct form of the verbs to complete the sentence. I normally alone, but I with my sister at the moment. The first verb is live, the second is stay. Take a few seconds to consider this. Ready for the answers? Here we are. So it's I normally live alone. This is the present simple, which we use to talk about a situation which we see as permanent. And then, but I am staying with my sister at the moment. This is the present continuous, which we use to talk about a situation we think is temporary. Another example, he usually teaches French, but this term he's teaching a course in German. Okay, number 2. Choose the correct option in this sentence. When I was younger, was a school on that corner. Is it there or it? Have a think. It should be there. There was a school on that corner. So when we talk about something existing or not, we use there and not it. Number 3, we're looking at word order here. Which sentence is correct? Is it John was yesterday there or John was there yesterday? This one is correct. The second sentence, John was there yesterday. So when we have place and time adverbs next to each other in a sentence, they usually appear in that order. Place, then time. Here's another example. They're coming here later. Here is the place, later is the time. Okay, number 4, complete the sentence with been or gone. Where's Caitlin? She's to the cinema. She'll be back in a couple of hours. The answer is gone. I hear been and gone confused all the time. We use gone when someone went somewhere and hasn't returned yet. Caitlin might be at the cinema or on her way back. We use been when someone went somewhere and returned. And what does the apostrophe S stand for in she's? That is a contraction of has, not is. Okay, number 5. Which word could you remove from this sentence to avoid repetition? She went to the beach and she built an epic sandcastle. Take your time to think. It should be the second she. It's not necessary to repeat the pronoun, as it's obvious who built the sandcastle. We can remove certain words when we have 2 clauses connected by and, but, and or, and the missing information is clear from the context. This is called textual ellipsis. Here's another longer example. Do you want beans on toast or do you want bangers and mash tonight? we can remove the second do you want. Do you want beans on toast or bangers and mash tonight? Okay, how are you doing so far? Those were just getting you started. The questions are about to get a bit harder now. And just a quick reminder, if you're finding these questions tricky, don't worry. And also don't forget about the free English level test that I mentioned earlier. This will really help you to understand where you are with your English. Then you can study using appropriate materials. The link is in the description box for you. Okay, number 6. Use an article to complete the sentence so that it refers to tigers in general. Ready? Tiger is a solitary animal. Have a little think. The article should be the. The tiger is a solitary animal. Now we can use the plus singular noun to make a generalization about all things the noun refers to. Now notice how I say the tiger, the tiger. It's common to use the before consonant sounds and the before vowel sounds. For example, the elephant has an incredible memory. Number 7, choose the correct preposition to complete the sentence. London is really different, my hometown. Is it from, than, or to? I want you to really think about this one. I'm really curious which one you chose because they're all correct. So different from is pretty standard. Different than is more common in North American English, and different to is more common in British English, especially in speech. Use whichever feels the most natural to you. It's a little hard to score that question, isn't it? So I'll give you this. If you thought that 2 or 3 of the options were both correct, you can have the point. Number 8, complete the second sentence so it means the same as the first. And you need to think about punctuation too. First sentence. The sailor is 90 years old. She still sails solo across the sea. That was nearly a tongue twister. She still sails solo across the sea. And the second sentence. The sailor still sails solo across the sea. Have a think. It should be the 90-year-old sailor still sails solo across the sea. Now, be really careful here. 90-year-old with hyphens. If you thought it should be 90 years old with or without the hyphens, don't worry. This structure is so tricky for lots of English learners. It's a mistake I hear all the time. It should be 90-year-old, no S. And here, 90-year-old is a compound adjective, so we don't pluralize any of the words. We use hyphens because they make it easier to understand, and the adjective comes before the noun. And please note, hyphens are a pain. This isn't a universal rule. Correctly hyphenating compound adjectives is challenging. It's something I discuss with my teachers a lot when we're creating our courses. Okay, did you notice how hard it was for me to say? I'd like you to pause the video and try saying that sentence out loud. It is a bit of a tongue twister. The 90-year-old sailor still sails solo across the sea. Your turn. I'm gonna say good effort, but I can't hear you. Okay, number 9. Complete the sentence with the correct preposition. My dog knocked the glass over, accident, while he was wagging his tail. I'm not giving you any clues here. Take a few seconds. Okay, the correct answer is by accident. By accident. You could also say accidentally, and you might have heard some people say on accident. This is somewhat commonly spoken English in North America, especially among younger people, but it's generally not considered correct in a more formal context. But language changes, so in a few years it might be considered correct. In general, by accident is widely accepted. On accident, it's used, but not officially correct. Okay, number 10. Is this sentence correct or incorrect? Those letters are really important. Please don't throw out them. It is not correct. Personal pronouns like them go between the verb and the particle in a separable phrasal verb. So it should be, please don't throw them out. Another example, can you pick me up later? Not pick up me. Pick me up. Okay, we're 2/3 of the way through now. How are you doing? This quiz is about to get even more challenging. Are you ready for number 11? Choose the correct option to complete the gap. I, living in a big city, so moving to the countryside was a shock to me. Is it used to or was used to? Take a few seconds. It should be was used to. We use to be used to say that something is, was, or will be normal for us. It's followed by a gerund, living, or a noun, noun phrase, or pronoun. For example, I am used to the bad traffic. Used to, without be, refers to a past situation that is no longer true, and it's followed by a base verb. I used to live in London, but now I live in the countryside. These are such tricky structures for learners to use naturally. Let's move on to number 12. Complete the sentence using should. Where's Eloise? She here hours ago. Have a think. Okay, we definitely need should have and then a past participle. I'd probably use been, but you could say got or arrived. She should have arrived here hours ago. Okay, number 13. Report this statement using a form of the verb accuse. You will need to use 4 words. Paul, you lied, said Peter. Peter, 4 words. Okay, take your time here. Use the pause button if you need to. Ready for the answer? Peter accused Paul of lying. So the verb pattern is accuse plus object plus the preposition of plus ing verb. Other verbs that can follow this pattern include blame somebody for and prevent somebody from. Can you think of any more? Let's move on to number 14. Which option can we not use to complete the sentence? It might not be the best day to have a picnic. The skies at the moment. Option 1, more grey than blue. 2, greyer than bluer. And 3, more grey than it is blue. Take your moment here to think. Okay, we can't use the second option, even though the comparative form of grey is usually greyer and blue is usually bluer. When comparing 2 similar qualities like colours, we often use more adjective than adjective. We can also use the longer form with it is repeated before blue. Okay, number 15, your last grammar question. Complete the second sentence so that it means the same as the first. Use only a form of the verb suit. You need 2 words. Do whatever you want. I can't be bothered to argue with you. And then, I can't be bothered to argue with you. The answer should be suit yourself. Did you get that one? Suit yourself is often used to say, do what you want, especially when you don't agree or something annoys you. For example, I'm not coming to the beach. Suit yourself, but we're going to have a great time. Suit is a verb that changes meaning slightly when used reflexively. Other verbs like this include help yourself, as in take whatever you want, and apply yourself, as in put effort into something. Okay, that one was tricky. Did you manage to get 80%? 80% is a score of 12 out of 15. Let me know in the comments. And don't worry if you didn't get 80% or even close to that. Some of those questions were seriously challenging. And now, if you're feeling motivated or demotivated, it might be the perfect time to get a more complete picture of your English level. Scan that QR code or click the link in the description box to get started on my free online English level test. It only takes a few minutes, and before you know it, you'll be on your way to becoming the English speaker you've always dreamt of being. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah!